Hello, everyone. Our international partners and our valued Nomad community worldwide. Welcome to Mercan's first webinar of 2025. My name is Jasmine, the CEO of Mercan Asia, and I'm very excited to have you all here today. Over the past decades, Mercan has been a leader in Portugal Golden Visa program, successfully launching more than 26 hotel projects that align with the residency by investment scheme. Through these projects, we have helped thousands of investors and their families members secure residence permits, opening doors to new opportunities in Europe. However, 2024 marked a significant milestone. For the first time, we expanded into Greece, introducing a brand new investment concept under the Golden Visa Greece. Besides, last year, in response to the major regulatory changes introduced by Greek government, the real estate market experienced an unprecedented surge. Demand skyrocketed, attracting more investors than ever before, and further cementing Greece as a top residency by investment destination. This year, we continue our journey in Greece, making it the focal point of our first webinar of 2025. Today's section is all about understanding this new exciting market, exploring new opportunity with us, and sharing the insight into how Mercan's project can align with this evolving landscape. So now, before we begin, I would like to introduce today's our distinguished panelists who will guide us through different aspects of investment regulation and the real estate in Greece. We'll start with Jordi Vilanova, the president of Mercan Portugal. Jordi will present Mercan Group history and the achievements, giving you an overview of how Mercan has successfully shaped the investment immigration industry through our chain of luxury hotels. After Jordi, Mr. Theodoros, the president of Mercan Greece, will take us through Greece real estate and the tourism growth, showing how the country is emerging as a prime market of the global investors. Then come the statistics of Golden Visa Greece and its new regulation with Mrs. Ines Moura, the general manager of IAS, a legal and consulting firm providing support work for investor, Greek lawyers, and Mercan. Then Jerry Morgan, the founder and the CEO of Mercan Group, who will introduce Mercan's newest project in Greece, marking yet another exciting milestone in our expansion. Now, before I pass the stage to Jordi, I would like to review with everyone two key points. Firstly, let's look at some statistics of the Greece Golden Visa application. On the screen, you can see a chart illustrating the number of applications each year. Although the program began in 2013, we have selected 2018 as our baseline to analyze the growth trend in applications from 2018 until 2024. And during this period, applications have increased nearly fivefold, clearly highlighting Greece's growing appeal as a global investment migration destination. And for the first time ever, Greece Golden Visa program takes the crown, ranking #1 in Hanley and Partner 2025 Global Residence Program Index, officially make it the world's most attractive residency by investment program. Alongside the Greece Golden Visa boom, real estate market also surged, with official data from the European Central Bank showing over 61.3% growth in nearly 6 years. This means that on average, the property price in Greece have grown 8%, more than 8% annually over this period when we account for the compounding growth. With record-breaking Golden Visa application and strong real estate growth, Greece stands out as one of the most promising investment destinations today. Now, to give you a deeper understanding of the overview market of Greece, we will start with Jordi Vilanova, the president of Mercan Portugal, who will share the insights on how Mercan can achieve the success in Golden Visa program. Let's get started. Jordi.
Thank you, Jasmine. It's a pleasure to be with you today. And thank you, Nomad also for supporting this initiative. So why invest in Mercan? So there are four reasons why it's really Mercan, the company you want to invest in. Number one, because of the 35 years of expertise. And number two, because we have in Portugal, we have a success story of 1.3 billion euros raised with 32 projects, hotel projects underway with more than 4,100 investors. Number three, we've taken our experience to expand into Greece. So we're bringing our expertise as a major player, as a developer, as an operator, and as an investor into Greece. And last but not least, we are operating in 30 countries, which means that we have the ability to provide solutions. In this case, investment in Greece to get your golden visa through all our partners and through all our offices. Next, please. So in terms of our leadership, is not only because of the golden visa, but also because of the partners, next please, that we are operating with. Next. So today we are the largest operator in Portugal, multi-brand. So we're working with Marriott. We have 9 projects, 9 hotels with Marriott. We have 9 hotels, 9 projects with Hilton. We have 6 projects, 6 hotels with IAG. We have a project with Hard Rock. We have a project with Accor. We have a project with Wyndham. As I said, these partners are the ones that have trusted Mercan to be the largest multi-brand hotel operator in Portugal. So I have a good excuse why our colleague, the president of Mercan Greece, Theodoros, is not joining us at this point, maybe later on, which will answer actually maybe some of the questions that you might have. Theodoros, as we speak, he is at the notary where we are getting the final horizontal property approval and certification so that, as Ines will talk about later on, we're ready to engage our investors in this journey for the golden visa. So I hope Theodoros, maybe he will join at the end, but definitely that's a good reason why Theodoros is not here. And I'll just take you through some of the facts about Greece, and I'm sure that my Greek colleagues, maybe at the end with any questions that you might have, might support me in this description. So let's talk a bit about Greece. Okay, so in terms of the golden visa, I would like to stress 2 key components. One, which is the fact that you get your golden visa and you don't need to visit Greece. You don't need to spend any time there. You just need to renew every 5 years. This makes this program absolutely unique. And the second thing that is very unique about this program, also, as Ines will talk about, as Jerry will talk about, is the type of investment. So it's a very secure investment. It's probably one of the best investments in terms of risk that you can have in the golden visa scenarios ecosystem. So those are the 2 things I would underline in terms of golden visa in Greece. No requirements to visit, to spend any time in Greece, 5 years renewal time, and then a very safe investment. Next, please. In the meantime, and now that we're talking about why Greece, I would like to share with you some unique facts. Did anyone know that last week, March 2025, the Moody's upgraded Greece in their credit rating? That's a great news. Did we know that Greece public debt has decreased by 40% percentage points since 2020? and it's on the way to have a bigger decrease on percentage points. Did we know that the GDP, so this year the economy will grow 2.3%, which is well over the average of the Eurozone. Did we know that after 16 years, the banks in Greece, they have started to pay dividends, and also they are on the way to pay back all the bad debt loans that were existing. And so those are facts that are really relevant in terms of why Greece, beyond obviously the beaches, the sun, and the tourist attractions. Another fifth fact I would like to address is the Greek economic sentiment indicator, which is 106%, which shows you the positive outlook of Greece going forward. Next, please. Next. I would like to, I believe now we'll move into why Mercan Greece, which is basically the combination of what I said at the beginning in terms of the Mercan journey, the 35 years Mercan journey, especially with the success that we have had in Portugal, with the unique structure and value proposition that our team in Greece, supported by our global team, is able to provide, both in terms of real estate development, in terms of consultancy, in terms of immigration, and in terms of investor experience, which at the end has been the key to the DNA of Mercan during this journey. Next, please. Now let's talk about Piraeus very briefly, and I know that Jerry will also talk about that. I would like to underline two factors. Piraeus not only is the largest port in Greece, but it's one of the most busiest ports in Europe, especially after the investment of COSCO, the largest port operator in the world. And then let me also share with you that the Keranis building, which is a historic building, which provides the legacy of one of the most successful industrial companies in Greece in the past century, Keranis. So we in Mercan, we have the opportunity to develop the whole complex, the whole area, which is a premium area. I would like to share with you that some of the largest investors in the world, like Goldman Sachs and like the Canadian pension funds, are investing in Piraeus. That's why, as Mercan, we're very committed to this project and to this area. Next, please. So now I'll pass the baton to Ines. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on the place of the world you're at. So I'm very pleased to be given the opportunity to talk to you all a bit about Greece and to give you the information that we have. We have a big team of lawyers in Greece ready to support you. Like Jordi said, we are all finishing the last deed regarding the horizontal property, the division of the building. Every other requirement is complied with. So I'll be happy to guide you through a bit what is the legal landscape now in Greece, since we had the change in summer of last year, a very significant change in the program. So let's start. So as you know, there's been a change in the type of investment that is allowed under the program. Luckily, it's still allowed. It's still the threshold of 250,000 euros was kept by the government, but the golden visa in Greece went through a very interesting transformation where I guess the government heard the concerns that the Greek people had and that are shared by many others in Europe, which is the scarcity of housing. So two new categories were introduced that allow for the investment with a threshold of 250, and the Mercan program contemplates one of them and allows you to invest with this threshold. Now, the key advantages, as you all, I assume, suspect, give you the benefit of accessing the Schengen area and to travel visa-free through the Schengen area. Allows their investors and the children under 21 years old and parents to apply, all with one investment. There are no minimum stay requirements in Greece. There is not even the need to go to Greece. There's just a need to go for biometrics. There's no mandatory stay yearly. And the residency is renewed every 5 years. So the investor and family members get a residency permit upon the investment and the completion of the stages necessary. And then there's the period of that residency permit is 5 years, and then it's renewed every 5 years, and it's always renewed as long as the investment is kept. So the next one, please. Currently, like I said, there are 4 options available. The first one was subject to an increase when the law changed in August. So now we have a minimum value of 800,000 euros. It pertains to specific regions in Greece, and which are major cities and areas, and all the islands that have a population of over 3,100 inhabitants. Then you have a second one, which is the 400,000 euros that basically pertain to all the other regions not under the 800 category. And then you have 2 types of investment that are on the 250 category, on the 250 threshold. So the first one is the listed buildings. So if you have a historical listed building in Greece, you can buy it and apply to the program with that via that investment, via that acquisition. Or you have the one that we are currently undertaking, and that is, as I mentioned, kind of the government listening to the population. So there's a scarcity of properties to rent, properties to live in Greece. So the government allowed for a conversion of commercial and industrial buildings into residential. So here we can see the golden visa having almost a social side to it, where you have those big buildings in Greece, namely in Athens, that were being used for commercial companies or for industrial purposes, and now they can be repurposed and rehabilitated as residential buildings. So this is the category we're currently talking about, and this is where the Piraeus building fits. The next one, please. So just a few numbers. As Jasmine was so nice to say in the beginning, this is a very, very popular program, the most popular currently, and the stats demonstrate them. It's also, you have the major nationalities that invest, the number of residency permits issued throughout the years. The government is very favorable to this program, so the delays here are not as frequent. Of course, when there's a surge in investors, the timelines extend a bit, but it's not. It's a program where the government is very favorable to it. So there's a concern to make sure that the timelines are not extended too much, and it's especially now with the new categories that really take on existing buildings to transform them and to provide answers to concerns that the population have. This aligns both ends of the equation, right? So we believe it's going to continue to be the case. So here you just have the numbers and the stats that may be interesting for you. Now, like I said, minimum of 18 years of age. There's a few exceptions there that we'll be able to help you with if the investor is under 18, but in principle, 18 years old. There are no language requirements to get the residency permit. You don't need to speak Greek or to have any kind of training in Greek. Of course, the target audience for this program is non-EU residents. There is a requirement for a valid medical insurance in order to apply to the program, something we already are prepared to assist you on. And again, no business experience, no experience of any type. These requirements are quite objective, they're not subjective. So this is kind of the full package of what you need to invest in the program as an investor, as a main investor, of course. So the next one. Okay, so just to guide you through, it's a lot of information, I know, but bear with me, just to guide you through a bit of the investor experience, what we like to call the investor life cycle when you decide to apply to the program. So we have it all sorted out. The onboarding, the only documents that we need are the KYC and a chart with the main information of the main investor. And we need your passport and just the service agreement to provide the legal services. Once we get the onboarding, we'll do a compliance check and we proceed with reserving the unit that the investor wants, and we'll send the investor the reservation agreement and the investment letter. So you will receive a document, a contract that pertains to your unit and that allows you to keep that unit, to give you 60 days to make the down payment and to keep that unit for as long as until the moment that you do the deed. Okay, the investment letter serves the purpose of justifying the transfer, the 10% and the remaining amount from your account to support you in your country of origin or of residency. And after that, you sign the reservation agreement, you send the documents, there is the payment of the legal fees and of course the down payment, and immediately you receive the legal package, what we call the legal package, and that basically has the power of attorney, the investor agreement, the framework agreement that has all the terms of the relationship between you and Mercan, and has the lease agreement. Since as the moment you sign the deed with Mercan, you will lease back the property to Mercan, and you will be granted a remuneration and yield on your investment under that lease agreement. After that, you schedule the authentication session, sign everything in the legal package, and courier that legal package to Portugal, where we will make sure that everything is checked. We will include the Hague apostille and all the documents signed so that they are accepted in Greece, and we will courier your documents to the Greek lawyers. After that, the Greek lawyers take over. We just assist you from Portugal in this initial step. Okay. Once the legal package is received, the lawyers in Greece will ask for your tax number, and the process will start immediately for that purpose. The payment of the remaining amount, you have 60 days as per the reservation agreement you signed to pay the difference. So the invest within the reservation agreement, you are required to make a down payment of a minimum of 10%. After that, like I said, 60 days to do the deed, I guess as soon as possible, but the maximum deadline is 60 days. And with the transfer of the remaining of the price, the deed will be booked, and your lawyer in Greece will represent you at the deed. So basically, long story short, you will have the initial contract, the reservation agreement, and the legal service agreement, pay the down payment, have a maximum of 60 days while you work on all the paperwork sent to the lawyers in Greece to make sure that we can have your tax ID number, everything. And after that, the lawyers will represent you at the deed as soon as you transfer the remaining amount pertaining to the rest of the price. After that, after the deed is complete, your investment is complete, you will have the team of lawyers in Greece requesting all the immigration information that is required, birth certificate, marriage certificate, the normal stuff that you need for a process like this. And once we receive it, the Greek lawyers will submit your golden visa application. This is the moment also that you hire your health insurance that is mandatory. And with the submission of with sending all those documents to Greece, we will represent you and submit your application with the immigration authorities there. So next slide. After the submission, you have the pre-approval, okay, for family members and the main investor, which should take between 1 and 2 weeks. And there will be the issuance of what they call the application certificate, which is the common name before was the blue paper. This allows you to, from this moment onwards, travel to Greece and live in Greece. So you don't have to have your biometric appointment, and you don't have to wait for the residency card. This issuance of the application certificate that attests that your application was successfully submitted immediately allows you to apply to travel to Greece and to move to Greece, okay? You don't need a visa for that. You don't need any kind of residency permit. This allows you to do that, should that be your intention. About 4 to 6 months after the application is presented and approved, you will have your biometric appointments, unless you want to live in Greece and moved before that. That should be the first time you are required to go, okay? With this, fingerprints and photographs will be collected, and within 45 days of this biometric appointment, you will the card will be issued. Your lawyers will receive it in Greece, and they will ship it to any location you ask us to. So we're talking about a total of 9 months. As you guys know, this also depends a lot on you, how fast you are to provide the documents that are required, okay, and how fast you are to ship them to your lawyers. So we will be here to support you throughout the whole process. We are very knowledgeable about both sides of the equation, Mercan previously in Portugal and now in Greece. So the idea is kind of to provide you support. You will have a dedicated lawyer to clarify everything that you need to know, and also to support you in terms of legalization and authentication of documents with Greek embassies and consulates. Okay, so you will have that support. Now, regarding just to finalize the unit reservation, you are required to make, if you pay the legal fees, you will get your unit reserved immediately. Otherwise, it's with the down payment, and then it's kept for 60 days, like I said, or until you do the deed, whichever is sooner. So I guess we're done with the golden visa timeline, and the next is, I guess, Jerry.
Thank you, Ines, and thank you everyone for being here today. So what I'd like to do is talk to you about our project. Our project is located in Piraeus. As you can see in the picture, it's a beautiful picture. It's located 20 minutes from downtown Athens, and it's located in walking distance to the Piraeus harbor. You can see from here, this particular area is probably one of the best potential growth areas for Athens. It's got huge potential. And again, here's a picture of the building. So the project itself will be one of the largest mixed-use projects in Piraeus, going to be 30,000 square meters. It's going to be 408 apartments spread over 6 floors. On the main floor, you're going to have your commercial space, your restaurants, and other facilities. From this particular picture, you can see the actual building. So this building exists. It's a historic building in the city. It used to be one of the largest factories in the city. And this will be a major project. As I mentioned, will be the largest mixed-use residential project in the city of Piraeus. So right beside us, you have the university, which will be 750 meters. You have a tram station, which is 100 meters. You have a metro station, 500 meters. So it's really a fantastic location. You're near the residential areas or the university, and you're also near all the commercial areas, the shipping companies, and the other company. So in terms of the building itself, we have first type is the open space apartments. This is just like 10% of the units. They range from 40 to 60 square meters. Now, all these units are fully furnished, so it's important to note. The second type of structure we have is what's called a twin apartment. So for one investment, you'll get 2 studio apartments, which is great for the students because you have a huge student community nearby. Also fully furnished. And the third, and which is 75% of the units, are 1-bedroom apartments. You have two types of 1-bedroom apartments, but they basically come fully furnished, and those are the most popular demanded units in the area. And finally, we have 2-bedroom apartments, which there's not that many of them, but they do come fully furnished, and it's for a particular type of client. In terms of what you see in this particular picture is there's a huge courtyard in the building, which allows for a lot of open space. You have retail on the ground floor, and for those units interfacing, it gives you that quiet courtyard type feeling. So those are quite popular. On the rooftop, it's going to be a dynamic sort of thing where you'll have restaurants and you'll have a bar. So this will be very popular in the particular area. Now, 90% of the units will be in the area of 250 to 270,000, with the variance being the floor, the size of the unit, and the view. Each investor will get a 3% guaranteed for 10 years. So, and that's net, which means the only cost you're going to have is your personal taxes, which are 15%. So it's very clean. If the kitchen breaks down or if the toilet breaks down, everything's covered. So it gives you a comfort that really you come in, you invest your money, everything's furnished, you have your net return, and whenever you decide to exit, you can exit. Now, what's really attractive about this, normally in immigration, you rarely hear that it's a good investment. But in this particular instance, it's a fantastic investment. If you take the Central Bank of Greece's residential price index, since 1997, you've averaged an annual return increase of 5%. So if we just take this price increase, forget that this particular area is growing and has huge potential. If you just take this, after 10 years, you're going to have a capital gain of 71%. After 20 years, if you hold it, if you stay in the program, you're going to have 178%. So there's huge capital gain potential that goes in on top of your 3% return. So really, in conclusion, if you're looking for a golden visa for Greece, you're coming in at 250, 270. You're getting an annual return. You don't have any capital costs that are going to be involved. No capital appreciation, no management fees, no taxes, and you're going to have a potential of a major capital gain at the end, and you enjoy the benefits of the Golden Visa program. So it's really quite a good opportunity that if you want into this program, we feel this perhaps is probably one of the best opportunities you're going to have. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry, for your presentation, showing everyone a great opportunity of investment in Greece. So now we will move to the Q&A sections where I have already received questions sent to me before the webinar. And it will be shown on the screen just after a short clip resuming the information of Piraeus projects.
Welcome to Piraeus Residences, the largest mixed-use project in Piraeus, a landmark investment opportunity in the heart of Greece's fastest-growing urban hub. A new vision in the heart of Piraeus, this modern mixed-use development is designed for investors seeking security, growth, and lifestyle in one of Europe's most dynamic markets, redefining modern living and investment. Involving the conversion of the former Kiranis factory into modern residential units, transforming a long unused structure into a thriving urban living space. A historic industrial landmark reborn as Kiranis Residences, offering a new chapter in city living through the Golden Visa Investment Program. Spanning 29,900 square meters across 6 floors, Kiranis Residences is the largest mixed-use development in Piraeus, featuring 408 fully furnished residential units, ranging from open space apartment to spacious 2-bedroom apartments. Designed to meet the demands of modern urban living, this project offers a seamless blend of comfort, connectivity, and investment potential. But investing in Kiranis Residences is more than just acquiring property. It's about securing a future in one of Europe's most sought-after residency programs. Greece's Golden Visa program is one of the most attractive residency by investment options in Europe, offering visa-free travel across the Schengen countries, a secure, growing real estate market with strong returns, a pathway to citizenship after just 7 years, no language or business experience requirements, 1 year to obtain residence permits, with renewal every 5 years, access to a renowned education and innovation system, offering world-class universities and research opportunities, no minimum stay requirement in Greece. With a starting investment of 250,000 euros, investors gain access to a high-value property market, while securing a European future for themselves and their families. The investment category is property converted from commercial to residential, ensuring long-term value and strong capital appreciation. To qualify, you must be 18 years of age, have valid medical insurance, and be a non-EU citizen. But why Greece? The Greek real estate market presents a compelling opportunity for foreign investors. With economic indicators showing positive trends and a maturing property market, Greece offers a unique blend of stability and growth potential. The country's booming tourism industry, rising property values, and infrastructure advancements have made Greece one of Europe's most attractive destinations for real estate investment. And within Greece, Piraeus is leading the way. Piraeus is not just the largest port in Greece, it's the country's fastest-growing urban hub. Strategically located just 20 minutes from the heart of Athens, Piraeus is transforming into a vibrant center for business, real estate, and tourism. Massive infrastructure projects, including the expansion of the metro and new commercial developments, are fueling rapid growth. The area is experiencing unprecedented urban regeneration, attracting multinational companies, entrepreneurs, and investors alike. With its thriving economy, cultural attractions, and seamless connectivity to the Greek islands, Piraeus is a prime investment location. Those who invest now are positioning themselves at the forefront of one of the most promising markets in Greece. And at the heart of this transformation stands Kiranis Residences, the largest mixed-use project in Piraeus, redefining modern living and investment. Designed for contemporary urban lifestyles, Kiranis Residences offers everything today's investors seek. Turnkey furnished residences, modern and stylish, ready for immediate use, commercial spaces including cafes, retail stores, and rooftop leisure areas, exclusive amenities, a gym, working lounge, and premium business spaces, prime accessibility, minutes from the metro, universities, and key attractions. With an investment starting from 250,000 euros, Kiranis Residences offers 3% gross guaranteed annual return, 4 to 7% estimated capital appreciation, professional property management ensuring long-term value, an opportunity in a city on the rise where investment meets lifestyle and financial security. The time to invest is now. Kiranis Residences is an investment in Greece's most promising location. We turn opportunities into lasting success. Secure your future today. Invest in Piraeus. Invest in Greece. A golden opportunity awaits.
Welcome everyone back, and let's tackle several questions that were raised to the guest speakers. And can we move to the first question? Let's start with the first one. So I will read it loud. I would like to know various options for Greece Golden Visa investment, especially 250,000 option. I watched the Mercan show last year offering the timeshares. Is this option available? I remember it was offered at 250,000 euro. So who volunteers for the first question?
I can. So yeah, that was an option last year when they made the changes to the regulations. It is no longer an option, but we knew our customers were looking for a price at 250,000. And when the new regulation came out allowing the conversion of industrial building to a residential thing, that's where we jumped in and created this project because we feel that our investors, our customers, are still looking for for an offering in that price range. So yes, it does. It's no longer available, but yes, we do have an alternative that satisfies you the same.
Thank you, Jerry. And now we're moving to the question number 2. We are retired, with two sons, 22 and 24 years old. My main question is, what is the process for our family to obtain Greek citizenship? And can the Greek Golden Visa assist with this? Additionally, how long does the process take and what are the costs on top of 250,000 euros? I guess I'll send it to Ines for answering the question.
Yeah, sure. Jasmine, hi. I'm not sure why my camera is not working, but it's not. But I'll ask you to bear with me like this. So, like I said in my presentation, there is a limit of age for the children in Greece. So in this case, it's 21. So the process for the family to obtain a Greek Golden Visa would be each, in this case, the person asking the question, one of the parents, I assume, would apply. But in order for the children to also be able to apply, they would have to each do an investment. Okay. Mm-hmm. Can Greek Golden Visa assist me on with this here? Yes, but with this caveat, this point that I just made. How long does the process take? Like I showed in my presentation, it's about 9 months from end to end, okay? From the moment you have applied to the issuance of the card. However, upon the acceptance of the application, you get the blue paper, so you're already allowed to travel to and live in Greece. So at the end of the day, that's your end goal. Then it's a month or 2 months, depending on how long it takes for you to do the investment and to make the transfer of the funds. What are the costs on top of the 250,000? So you will have the cost of the property. You will have taxes that pertain to the acquisition of the property, like any other country. You will have the legal fees, and you will have the immigration fees, which are considerably lower than the vast majority of the legal fees in Europe. I'm sure that for more information on this, Jasmine and the team will be happy to share with you our cost calculator that has all the information necessary and that does the calculation immediately.
Thank you, Ines. Question 3. Do I have to produce criminal record during renewals of the Golden Visa, or only once during the initial application? I guess he means, or she means, do they have to provide the criminal record during the renewal of the Golden Visa? I guess, Ines, can you help to follow up with this question?
Of course. It's not a mandatory document in Greece. So it's not a document that is requested either for the initial application or any of the renewals at this point in time.
Thank you. Question number 4, please. Well, we're talking about the project. What is the rental potential? A very direct questions. I would say maybe Jordi, can you help with that? Jordi, you're mute. Jordi, you mute again. Okay, it's fine now. No, you mute again.
Let me help. So
Okay.
yeah, the rental potential, these are a great location. They're fantastic units. The potential is good. We're anticipating 90% capacity. or better. But from investor point of view, this is not the most important thing in that they're guaranteed a return of 3% per year. So this is a unique opportunity that investors don't really need to worry about the rental potential. But having said that, the prospects for this potential area and building are fantastic. It's a historic building. It's a landmark, and the location is great. So, I think it's a win-win.
Thank you, Jerry. Jordi, you
Maybe,
say more?
Jerry, here it's really relevant to point out the real benefit for the investor is the capital increase. As you mentioned, I think you said we said between 4 and 7% per year, which means that in about 5 years you're doubling the investment. That's a real benefit for the investor.
Yeah, I think so. You have the annual return of 3%. Like Jordi mentioned, the key to this project is the capital gains that you'll achieve over time. The longer you're in, the better the returns.
Okay, thank you, Jerry and Jordi. At the same time, I'm trying to read some other questions that was sent live, but let's just go through with the rest of the question that was sent to me before first. Okay, so question number 4. Question number 5. When is the investment deemed sufficient for the golden visa submission? At capital call or at project completion? What downside protection do investors have if the project incomplete? Jordi?
I think Ines might be best for this.
I think so.
Happy to. So when is in the investment deemed sufficient for golden visa submission? At capital call or at project completion? Like all the cases in golden visa, for you to apply to a program, you need to do the investment, right? So it's not a requirement that Mercan has or any other developer in Greece. What the government says is you can apply the moment you have the deed, right? In this case, because it's acquisition of a property. So for you to have a deed, you need to pay the price, right, of the acquisition. So in this case, the moment you acquire the property, you pay the price. One of the documents is the deed. Therefore, you need to pay upon the acquisition of the property. Now, you already have the property, right? You are paying to get the project completed. You acquire that property in an existing building. And the protection that you have is a contractual protection that Mercan signs an agreement with you, and that states that you will have a building with those characteristics in X time as per the agreement says. Now, in terms of reputation, this is how Mercan always proceeded in Portugal in the last years, and that's how we currently have over 35 projects in several stages of completion, but most of them already built. So the reputation is there. There is a control of the funds. There's no way to divert the funds to other types of investments. So you are protected contractually. Okay, so that's the response. And like I said, it's not a requirement by Mercan to do the investment prior to completion. It really is how the program is structured. The Greek government wanted the investors to invest in the property, perform the change of use, okay, after the acquisition, but to allow them to immediately apply to the program. Structuring it otherwise would mean that you would have to do the initial acquisition of the property, the land, the plot, in this case, the property itself, because it's an existing property under this category. You will have to do all the construction and the rehabilitation, and only at the end would you be able to apply to the program, which is something that could take and will take a few years, and it's not something that is appealable to anyone, I think. So this is the best solution. Acquire immediately, invest, and then have contractual protection about your funds and the way that they're going to be deployed to rebuild the property in this case.
Thank you, Ines. Let's move to question number 6. Oh, I guess this question I could answer. Do you provide legal service free of charge as part of this investment? Or in fact, Mercan partner with the law firm in Greece and also the IAS as being a part of supporting business for the investors and Mercans and the Greek lawyers. And for sure that we have the partners already charged some certain of fee. And if anyone wants to know more information, we'll be happy to send a cost calculator, including all the fees related. Question number 7, please. I understand we must hold the assets during the time of residency. What if we want to liquidate it in the future? Will Mercan help to buy back? Between Jerry and Jordi? Which one?
Jordi or?
Yeah, if I can.
Okay, let me do it. So yeah, the rules are very clear. As long as you want to keep your golden visa, you need to hold your investment. The moment you sell your investment, it will lead to the end of your golden visa. Now, in terms of exit strategy, first off, you need to know that you're buying a good quality asset that's going to increase over time, and that's really important. What we think is, we have an asset that will really increase over time. Now, when you decide you want to sell, of course, we do have a management company looking after your asset, and we will be happy to help you to liquidate your asset. Do we have a guaranteed buyback? I'd love to have a guaranteed buyback, but I don't think it's in your best interest because you do have great potential capital gains at the end. But if anybody wanted it, we'd be happy to offer it.
Thank you, Jerry. Now we're moving to question number 8, and it's very interesting that I just received the same kind of question. So I think I would like to combine the 2 questions into one. So the questions will be, after buying the apartment and having it for rent, do we have the right to use the apartment someday a year? And in fact, there's another attendant also asks the same questions, that there's the 250,000 euro investment by one specific unit in the building, and you as the manager lease of the property. And what if we want to stay in the unit from time to time? So there's relevance between the 2 questions. So I want to combine to one. Jordi?
Yes, the beauty of this program is actually the guaranteed 3% yield. And one of the key components of the program is that the government basically is incentivizing the long-term rental, which means that this guaranteed buyback of 3% is based on long-term rentals. That's why this is different than the hotels or the short-term rentals or the Airbnbs, where, yes, you could have a feature where in advance you could book, let's say, want to come for 1 week or want to come for a couple of days. The thing is that with the program as it stands today, the lease has to be a long-term lease. So that's why at the moment we don't see any feature that would help for the investors to use or to have some time in the apartment, because basically that would defeat the purpose of having a long-term rental and therefore being able to guarantee a 3% yield per year. So that's the current, and that's why I think that's a great feature of the program today, that you get this 3% guaranteed per year.
So thank you, Jordi. I just want to reconfirm, because there are 2 attendants asking about the same questions. The 250,000 euro investment that the investor buy is specific unit, and is it freehold property?
Yes, it's a specific unit, and as Ines mentioned, that's a requirement for the submission of the application, which means that previously there has to have a notary deed with which will give them the deed of ownership of that particular unit. And as I mentioned at the beginning, actually, Theodoros was at the notary because they were issuing the certificate of the horizontal property so that each one of the 408 investors, they have their own individual deed of ownership.
Great. And upon the completion of construction, who will be the manager of the property? Mercan?
Yes. So because we have long experience in management operations, yes, Mercan will be the manager of the property. And by the way, talking about the rental market, and that's why we are committed to this guaranteed 3%. We already have an indication of interest of a company that is willing to rent 100 apartments. So that's why not only Mercan will be providing this service and managing the property, making sure that we have the right tenants. So we definitely we are our commitment of 3% guaranteed, but also what's very important, and this I would like to underline, when Jerry was talking about 4 to 7% capital gain increase per year, he was talking about the average in Greece. But what we expect in that property, because that will be a unique property, a unique compound, and that's the role of the management company, of the Mercan management company, to making sure that through the restaurants, through the commercial, through the supermarkets, through a unique rooftop, which will have a restaurant, the capital gains that the investors can have, or the capital appreciation, let me put it this way, the capital appreciation that they will be able to have as a result of the Mercan Properties management role will be unique.
Okay. Thank you, Jordi. So now we're moving to question number 9, and also the last question too. If the client goes to Greece for site check or at the biometric stage, do Mercan provide hosting services? I guess this is a question coming from one of our partners.
Yes.
They're very familiar
yes, absolutely.
with us in Portugal. So yeah. Jordi?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And as I mentioned at the presentation, one of the components of the DNA, Mercan DNA, is to provide the investor experience. So certainly this is part of the investor experience. We have the team, and we'll make sure that the services are provided the same way as we're providing them in other parts of the world, especially in Portugal.
Thank you, Jordi. Thank you, Jordi, Jerry, and Ines for being with us today to share a wonderful project to all the partners and Nomad community worldwide. Dear Nomad partners, if you have more questions, feel free to contact us after the show. We will be sending you all the materials, legal package, and we will follow up afterwards. I hope this webinar can give you an overview of Mercan project in Greece, and we hope to see you soon in Athens. So now, goodbye and happy day to everyone.